As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
Now, this has not happened yet, but I'm hoping it does. The winner of the week is the entire NFL watching world. Troy Aikman apparently is close on the verge of signing a contract with ESPN for Monday Night Football. Finally, it's only taken ESPN, I don't know how long, 15 years, maybe longer, to figure out the right person to put on Monday Night Football. Be so awesome. They have messed around with that broadcast so much. To have Troy Aikman on there would be awesome. I really enjoy him, man. I think he's great.
I do too. Is it bad to say I don't want it to happen? Because I love him and Joe Buck together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of that Fox broadcast. They've got really good chemistry. They do such a good job. They've been doing it together for a while now. Like, it's a really good broadcast. I don't want it to be broken up. You know what I mean? Like, you know how you get comfortable with your broadcast teams and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I love Nance and Romo. I know that some people don't feel as strongly as they used to about Tony Romo as an analyst, but I still think he does a really good job. But Buck and Aikman they're the best for me, man. They do a great job
Right.
together.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and I don't. There seems to be maybe some growing thought that Al Michaels, who his contract is up to, may be the partner. Now, if you have Al Michaels and Troy Aikman on Monday Night Football, you got yourself a serious broadcast there.
You got yourself a serious price tag, is what you've got.
Yeah, buddy, you do. Which is interesting, At the end of the day, I think it's so weird that, I think Tony Romo signed like a 17, $18 million contract, and Troy Aikman's going to make a huge one too. I never watch a game because of who's calling it, but I will not watch a game because of who's calling it. So I I don't think you just don't have to have someone bad, right? You don't
I,
have to try and reinvent the wheel.
I
Just a good solid broadcast I can handle. I don't need it to be over the top.
yeah, I don't need it to be life altering or
Yeah.
anything. I like to learn something. And the one thing I think Troy Aikman does a really good job of is he clearly knows the X's and O's. One thing I think because he is who he is, because he's Troy Aikman, like, I think that teams tell him stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he does a really nice job of subtly weaving that stuff into his call, where you're like, oh man, that's a great point. And then he'll say something, I'll be like, that's a little too on point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where he's like, he knew something, like he was informed, and he's Troy freaking Aikman. Like, yeah, people when they get in the production meeting, I'm sure people are like, oh, what's up, Troy? And they talk ball, and I don't think he like burns anyone or anything like that. So the my favorite thing he's starting to do now is if a quarterback stinks, he's not even like settling, letting you know. He lets you know that the quarterback's not very good, and it is awesome. It's one of my favorite things now in all of football broadcasting. And when Troy Aikman is just ripping especially a young QB, just ripping them apart.
Yeah. Well, I would love that on Monday Night Football, because Monday Night Football I think it's really lost its punch. It used to be the biggest game of the week, and now Sunday night's the biggest game of the week. And I think a lot of that has to do with the broadcast. It feels like a serious game when it's on Sunday night, because the broadcast crew treats it as such. And ESPN screwed around with the Monday night broadcast so much that people it just lost the punch that it had before. So I don't know. I think that would be a great move. And I think we've talked about this before, but go ahead. Sorry.
Just ESPN, don't you dare try to make Troy Aikman part of a 3-man crew. Don't you dare try to do that. It's him and one other guy. That's it. We don't need anything more than that. That's all we need.
ESPN has just announced Al Michaels, Troy Aikman, and Jim Carrey are going to be in the booth for Monday Night Football. God, don't overthink it. Just give us a serious.
They're bringing Dennis Miller back.
Dennis Miller's back. You know who I really like? I think we talked about this. Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
He does a really, really good job. He's funny. He makes fun of himself. He doesn't take him like he's not trying to be a know-it-all. It's just it's a good, entertaining broadcast.
Yeah. We'll see. It seems like from the reporting that's out there, like this thing's getting done pretty soon, and he's going to be getting Romo money. So congrats to Troy Aikman. What a life.
Yeah, he's gonna he's got to outshine Romo once again, right? I mean, come on, jeez, poor Romo. He's got, what do you think, 20 million?
Yeah, he's going to get more than Romo. Remember, he's got a great thing going at Fox. Like you're going to have to pay him. Yeah, I bet you he's getting 20 million a year. Remember, Romo is on, what is he, a $180 million deal? Is that right?
I don't know.
18 million a year for 10 years.
It's like 17 and a half a year.
Yeah. So he's getting more than Romo. I know that.
Can you believe that? $1 million a broadcast, pretty much.
Dude, you're really good. You need to get more into the TV game, man. Come on. What are we doing? I'll be your agent.
No way.
My fee is 25%.
Okay. Let's do it.
I'll make some calls. I'll start working on it.
If you give me a $20 million deal, you can have 75% of it. Okay.
You all heard that. That is on record. That is a verbal contract, sir. Who do you have as your loser of the week? Not again. Again?
We were stuck on 21 points for like 15 game minutes.
Made me so sad.
I know. Yeah. I had to. Now, I will say, I think part of it was a team that's lost its confidence and obviously not playing great offensively. But the other part of it is Texas Tech is legit. And they got them where they've got a ton of momentum. They're flying high right now. Their fan base is locked in. That was a good atmosphere to play a road game. I mean, that was a tough one. That was that was a brutal one. But I still believe that there is a chance if they win out. Now they got to turn it around. It's not going to be easy to win out. You couldn't ask for a better final 3 games, two of the 3 at home in this conference, but they're going to have to win out and at least win 1 game in the conference tourney to have a chance.
And maybe have some of the other bubble teams lose a few games.
Yep.
They need a lot of help. A lot of help.
Does help them that unanimously across the country, they play in what's considered to be the best conference. So that does help them. That's why Lenardi had them on the bubble for basically 6 weeks as they went through their growing pains. But I don't know. I'm still holding out some hope.
May Ween hit that 3 at the buzzer to break 40.
I know.
They ended up with 42 points via a 3-pointer at the final buzzer.
Oh.
They just turned it over so much, man. God. And Texas Tech, I talk to a lot of people that cover basketball very closely. You know, guys that call games, you know, guys like Fran Fraschilla, Chris Patola, you know, some of these guys at ESPN been doing radio lately with King McClure, who's called a bunch of Big 12 games. Texas Tech, when in the advanced metrics say this as well, like they're the best defensive team in the country.
Yeah.
So getting held below your season average against them, like that's acceptable. Scoring 42 points in a college basketball game in the Big 12 just can't happen.
Yep.
That's embarrassing, man. 42.
Well,
I don't care how good their defense is. You got to score more points than that.
When you're I think Oklahoma's a good, tough team defensively. But when you're a defensive team and you struggle scoring points, you cannot turn the ball over. That cannot be a weakness. Like your shooting percent, like your 3-point percentage and getting to the rim and all that stuff. Like if that's a weakness, that's a weakness. You can't also have turnovers. You cannot win a game that way with how they're structured. You have to shut down the turnovers, eliminate that, and you're still going to be in a grinder. Like most games you're going to win in a grinder, but if you turn the ball over and you struggle scoring, it just makes it borderline impossible, especially against good teams.
Yeah. I will say this. I still think Porter Moser is the guy. I believe in him.
Totally agree.
I believe in him. I believe the way that he goes about his business. They have to get more talent. They don't have enough length. They don't have enough athleticism. They need more talented players. And, you know, that's recruiting, transfer portal, whatever. Like, they got to do whatever they got to do to get some more talent. Because you look at some of the teams around the Big 12, like, there's a couple of programs only going to get better, right? You look at, you know, Baylor's not going away. Mark Adams has proved that Texas Tech is there to stay. Texas is going to get better under Chris
OSU.
Beard. Oklahoma State is going to continue to get better. TCU even has seemed to figure some things out under Jamie Dixon. Kansas, of course, not going anywhere. But Iowa State under TJ Otzelberger. Like, you talk about the turnaround they've had this year alone, they're going to get better. OU's got to improve the level of the talent on the roster quickly.
And I think they will. I think, you know, it's not like Moser's going to hit a top 5 recruiting class, you know, this next signing period. I don't believe that. But I think given more time, he's established himself here. Transfer, like you hate it. I mean, it's not how you want to build a program, but he's going to, for the time being, probably be living in the transfer portal.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. All right. If you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing, head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was just voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made from blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to buy some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year round. In 2012, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan, became the first American distillery to win the competition. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, then Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. All right, for my winner of the week, thought about going with the NFL. You mentioned the Troy Aikman thing, and possibly going to Monday Night Football, but also the XFL basically came out and said they're willing to be the NFL's experimental league. Like they could try all the rule changes, they could try new equipment. They're down to be the league to develop coaches and refs. They're like, yeah, we'll do what you want. I was like, that's a win for the NFL, little experimentation league.
Mm-hmm. No, that's smart. And, just like anything, I know the USFL, what they just had their draft today. But it's tough to get those off the ground. If you can like collaborate, not be a part of, not be a feeder league, like they're not going to say that, but if you could collaborate with them any way possible to try and help your standing, that's a good thing.
You want the NFL to want you to stay around. So you got to find a way, and letting them try some of that stuff in your league is, I think, a pretty good strategy to try to stick around for a while. So we'll see how it works. But also, it's The Rock. Everyone loves that guy. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
But
no, I agree.
The clear winner of the week, Panchakarma cleanses. Or maybe I should have gone with ghee, which I guess is like some sort of butter. But I guess Aaron Rodgers is my winner of the week, because I mean he's the reason people are talking about all this weird stuff. So there's so much attention on Aaron Rodgers right now, and all press is good press, right? First, he has this lengthy, emotional Instagram post that had all these people trying to figure out, what does it mean that he's not in the picture with Devontae Adams and Randall Cobb? Is this his goodbye? Is he retiring? Why is he thanking the woman we all thought he broke up with? Are they still together? Like everyone's talking about all this stuff. And then he goes on Pat McAfee's show and it's like, yeah, I posted that because I was feeling like I needed to express some serious gratitude after doing a 12-day Panchakarma cleanse. It was, and then of course everyone looked it up. Induced vomiting to cleanse the upper gut, forced diarrhea to cleanse the bowels. You put oils in your nostrils, a medicated enema to cleanse the colon, some procedure that I guess is supposed to cleanse your blood. And I guess you do meditation and some yoga throughout the cleanse. I can't imagine you'd want to be doing any strenuous yoga if you've got the medicated enema going on or the forced diarrhea. That doesn't seem like a good combination to me. But dude, what is going on with Aaron Rodgers? This dude, what is happening?
A cleanse? That sounds more like a prisoner of war stay than it does a cleanse. That sounds horrible. That sounds god awful. He's in a spot right now, and I admire it. I got no problem. But I got to tell you, whenever the post came out and then he did McAfee show, I felt like it was I felt like it was Talladega Nights, and Ricky Bobby was talking to his dad about if you're not first, you're last. And his dad says, hell, I was high when I said that. I thought that's what he was going to say about his post. I was high when I sent that out. I mean, so funny.
There's no doubt that Aaron Rodgers is just, any natural drug out there, I feel like Aaron Rodgers is getting after it. But yeah, all of this inspired by the cleanse, which I could probably get on board with a couple of those things.
What do you mean?
Out of all of I could put oils in my nostrils. Like,
yeah, okay.
I could do that. I think if I had to go, I would probably go forced diarrhea over induced vomiting because, he talked for a living. Don't want to be vomiting too much, damaging the throat. But
12 days.
what, I, I have so many questions.
Oh, wow. That sounds like torture. Woo.
You want to know, and this is probably, it's so stupid. This was one of my first thoughts when I saw this and kind of read up on the cleanse. Tom Brady has to see this and be so pissed.
Yeah.
He's the weird medicine, healthy guy QB, not Aaron Rodgers. He's the homeopathic medicine guy. And this is going to force Tom Brady to one up Aaron Rodgers somehow, some way.
Well, here's the thing. The TB12 method, Brady looks young, in shape,
Tan.
Somehow
his hair's gotten better.
Happy, energetic. Aaron Rodgers looks disheveled and a day away from disappearing.
Where's Aaron? I don't know. He disappeared in the mountains. Haven't seen him in 3 weeks.
I guess he's retired. No one knows. Yeah, the corduroy suit, the grown out hair, he's a step away from Uncle Rico. It's amazing.
This is stupid, but you just like him just disappearing. Have you seen this story about the bear in Lake Tahoe that they call Frank the Tank?
Is that the 500-pounder?
Yeah, can't you see? It's like, where's Aaron? It just cuts to a scene of him and that bear like cuddling in the woods. It's the dumbest. Just like,
someone's
it's okay,
like, I
Frank.
found Aaron Rodgers, and they like take their phone over there, and he's riding Frank the Tank.
He's got a saddle on the 500-pound bear. Oh, that's so stupid. But yeah, Tom Brady's definitely.
I think you're more likely to see Aaron Rodgers in like a side of the road rest stop in one of those old Volkswagen vans. The hippie.
As long as he's stopping at Love's, man, I don't care.
Yeah, there you go.
Those VW, those vans use a lot of gas. So
yeah, I could see Aaron Rodgers. That's part of the, what'd you call it? Panchakarma cleanse is some Java Amore.
Absolutely. Except for, I think that's when you're back into normal life. Okay. You can start drinking some coffee. Coffee does have that effect on people, though. Some people gets the processes going.
That is the, I just don't understand that. Why someone would put themselves through 12 days. 12 days of that cleanse for what I'm guessing only amounts to a placebo effect at the end of it.
He's recentered, Ted. You just wouldn't understand.
Okay.
Right. He's recentered.
True. I won't understand.
If he keeps playing football the way he has the last couple of years, I mean, do all the cleanses you want, man. He's been awesome. Now,
I agree.
Need to win playoff games, but hey. All right, for my loser of the week, thought about going with me and my wife. Something happened today.
Uh-oh.
Little guy, we were cleaning up. We had just fed him, right?
Uh-huh.
We go and set him on his we've got this little pad downstairs, pretty big. Set him where, we can sit him there. Not going anywhere, right?
Oh, boy.
Wrong.
We got a crawler.
Wrong. We got an army crawler. We got movement, Ted.
Oh no. Well, that's a good thing, but this is the first transition, first change.
Finish washing all the stuff in the sink, clean the counter, turn around the corner. He's halfway in between where he's supposed to be and where we are. And I was like, wait, and then I was like, oh no, he's done it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How old is he now?
8 months.
Okay. Yeah.
About crawling time, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So
the next sign is look for the wobble back and forth.
Now now I'm going to dedicate all my time with him because I get mornings with him. Mornings are it's Cam and dad time in the morning.
That's good.
And now I feel challenged. Like, hey, if you're going to be moving, like we're going to get you moving is kind of how I feel now. So,
That's awesome.
But yeah, the days of just laying him on his back and not having to worry about him going anywhere, over.
Yep.
Dang it.
Enjoy every single moment. Enjoy it. Enjoy it before you know it, man. They grow up fast.
Loser of the week, Phil Mickelson. Losing sponsors left and right. KPMG is out. Amstel Light out. Now, I'm not sure if he was serious about leaving the PGA Tour for the Super Golf League or if he was just working with them closely to scare the PGA Tour or leverage them, whatever, into giving the most popular players a bigger cut. I'm really not sure what his plan was, but he was one of the guys working closely with the Saudi-backed golf league, and seemed like he was the guy that was pushing guys like Dustin Johnson, Bryson DeChambeau to do it. Well, what he said about Saudi Arabia came out. Now, I guess Phil says it was off the record. Alan Shipnuck said it was definitely not off the record. Phil told him all that stuff, never said it wasn't on the record. But the fallout of the entire situation can only be described as substantial for Lefty. I mean, KPMG, I feel like they've been with him for forever. And you got sponsors bailing, you got other golfers piling on. I know Rory said he didn't want to kick him while he was down, but Rory, prefacing that, your comments where you just go after him with, hey, I don't want to kick him while he's down, but he's ignorant, he's stupid. Like, I love how he prefaced it. Like, hey, it's like, hey, no offense, but it also seems like the Super Golf League, or I think that's what it's called, is pretty much dead after this. So not a good week for Phil Mickelson. Now, he apologized. I do kind of disagree. Some people seem to think this is going to have some big effect on his golf legacy. I don't think that is going to be the case, but certainly not a great week. Not a great week for Phil.
No, it's not. Which, the Super Golf League, if it's the same thing that I saw and read up on, now the thing I read didn't say anything about where the money was coming from for it, but it sounded awesome. It sounded really cool. So yeah, I don't know. I find it interesting though that everyone is lobbying their shots right now at Phil Mickelson, and that's fine. That's fair game. I got no problem with that. But Saudi Arabia has a lot of money, and they're invested in a lot of businesses. There's a lot of people that take money from Saudi Arabia. Phil Mickelson is not the only person that does business with money from Saudi Arabia, right? There's a lot of companies out there that do business with some shady regimes.
Which is why they are bailing on Phil Mickelson, because of what he said about Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I hear what you're saying. We don't talk a lot of geopolitics on here, but I am definitely picking up what you were putting down.
Right. I mean, that's the thing. People seem to have these moments whenever they decide that, oh, it's not okay to do business with these people. And it's like, okay, well, let's check your portfolio real quick, see who you're doing business with, So I don't know. I'm not excusing anything that he said. Yeah.
I think the outrage is more about like the disparaging things he said about Saudi Arabians.
Well, yeah.
Which, or at least that's how I understand it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I mean, you're Phil Mickelson. Like, you say something like that. First of all, you got to know if you're on the record or not with a golf writer. And then, yeah, if you're Phil Mickelson, don't say dumb stuff like that.
Yeah. Let's hope they don't disappear him, you know?
Hey, no comment. Listen,
I know.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm not getting Phil Mickelson. I know that. That's why there is a reason. Like, there's a reason we haven't talked about the Abby Broyles thing on here. Nothing good could come from it, man. It's a hilarious story, but we ain't touching it.
Oh man, that one took me by surprise. When someone said that, I was like, they're like, "What do you read the story I just sent you?" It's like, huh? I wonder who signed a free agent deal or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, all right, nice.
Yeah, but rough week for Phil Mickelson, losing a lot of sponsors.
Hang in there, Phil. There'll be another huge story drop in the next 3 or 4 days, and you'll be off the hook. We'll be on to the next one.